Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and I'm going to be talking about Legacies Season 4, Episode 2. Now, before this even gets started, just a reminder, this is an episode review, so I'm going to just be talking about my thoughts of the episode. So I guess I will just kind of kick this off by saying a theory that I have. By the season's end, Hope will realize she has to kill whatever remains of Landon, and she will need to turn fully into the Tribrid, so that's a witch, werewolf, vampire for those who don't watch, but she will have to turn to that, and then she will need to turn off her humanity, and that's what's going to lead into Season 5. That is my prediction right now. I'm sure that's very obvious for those of you who also watch like me, who are fans. But yeah, that's what I think. So let's go into this episode. Hope and the gang are talking about their plan of how to stop Malador Landon. Or Malavor Landon. Wow, I said that wrong. Malavor Landon. And they're coming up with their plan and their idea, which is fine. You know, it is what it is at this point. I'm still very curious how they hope to do that. She gets, you know, a vision of inspiration from Cleo, who is stuck inside Malavor, and she sees the spell that they could use where I guess they shift or pull out the energies of someone else into some other being. So then they reach out to one of Malavor's sons, Landon's brother, per se, named Clark. Now, this is where I have to say something. CW. There is only one Clark that you have, and that's Clark Kent from Smallville. Stop with the Clarks. We have Clark from Smallville, the originator. Then you gave us Clark from the 100, the worst. And then you gave us this Clark in Legacies. Please stop. No more Clarks. After this, I don't want to see any more Clarks, but they reach out to Clark to help out with, you know, this spell, this ritual, whatever. It doesn't go the way that they want, but, you know, that's what it is. Something that I'm finding very interesting about this season so far, it's really hitting upon, like, some of those core, overall lore kind of storylines, hitting more like how the originals and the Vampire Diaries had, like, the larger plot, the larger lore going on, as opposed to the Legacy's first, like, 2 to 3 seasons where it was kind of like a new monster, a new creature every week, similar in many regards to like early Supernatural, where it was like a different monster every week. This was following that same formula, and it's also the formula that DC Legends of Tomorrow follows now, where it's kind of like, what's the problem this week? How do we solve it? And I get it, that's basic TV, but there's just something about this season that feels a little bit different. And if you do watch the show, please comment below, because I'd love to hear your thought on if you also feel or sense any differences going on with the season. So yeah, they try to do a plan, it doesn't work. I won't spoil it here, so definitely make sure you go watch the episode. However, some major points that come out of it: I need Landon to go. Hope needs to understand your plan is not going to work because it's you trying to help him. Somebody else has to do it, which Josie was the voice of reason this episode. She's like, I will do this spell. Hope's like, oh, you could siphon me? No. I'm gonna siphon somebody else. So Josie goes to siphon. Oh, what is her girlfriend's name? Finch is the name. I remembered now. But Finch is the name. But the funniest line, there are a few funny lines, but the funniest line is like, you know, Finch learned last episode more about the Gemini twin curse, spell, ritual, whatever you want to call it, knowing that eventually Lizzie and Josie will have to battle it out to see which will be the twin that survives and absorbs the attributes. If you haven't watched, this makes no sense to you. That's why you should really go watch the show. You can check it out now on the CW app. But essentially what's going to be happening, or what happened, is Finch was like, I don't know if I could do this. You know, I don't want to lose somebody I love. And Josie was like, what did you say? What did you say? And then Finch was like, I don't mean it like that. Sorry, Josie. But there's that. Why is Alaric still here? What has this guy contributed since Vampire Diaries? Like, why is he here? He could just go. I don't need him. He could go join Landon. They could just leave and go off somewhere. Go on a separate adventures that we don't need a spin-off series for. Just go away. Don't care about them. But the most irrelevant character. So there's been this character in the past 2 seasons, and I'm gonna end the video with this, but there's been a character in the past 2 seasons named Ethan. And, you know, human. I think in some regards they're trying to make him like the Matt Donovan, but listen, don't sleep on my boy Matt Donovan. He survived everything. But essentially, what happens is, you know, Malavor Landon, and again, spoilers, Malavor Landon gets out of the prison that they had him in. And he takes Ethan with him, and then Ethan's like, bro, you could take my car, I'll just leave. And then Malavor Landon's like, no, I need a new suit. And he just puts his hand on him like Ivan Ooze style and like pumps him up with like the Malavor ooze. So now I know why Ethan's still here. Like, this whole time I'm like, why is this guy here still? Like, what is his significance? And now he's gonna be the new Malavor. But I'd be curious, what happens to Landon's body now that Malavor seemingly, we don't know, we'll have to see in episode 3 next week, but seemingly is no longer in his body. I would love to hear anyone else's thoughts, comments on this show. Please like this video, leave a comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.